Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and we're going to talk about Wonder Woman issue 16, Exposing the Truth, featuring Detective Chimp. Yes, that's right. We are getting to expose the Sovereign, and I'm kind of creeped out. Not creeped out, but I mean, Wonder Woman and Detective Chimp were on Justice League Dark together, so it makes sense that she would call for help, but this wasn't the help I was kind of expecting. So basically, of course, it breaks down with more of the Sovereign talking about everything that happened recently. And all we're doing is cutting to poses of Diana picking up her little baby girl. And next thing we get to Detective Chimp. Detective Chimp shows up to the Sovereign's place, and he and then the butler was like, "Sir, there's a monkey here to see you." And he was like, "It's an ape. Ape is here to see you." And of course, Detective Chimp being Detective Chimp, swinging around, being an ape or whatever, said, "Hey, we talked on the phone about the address of Colonel Steve Trevor's death or whatever." And then he was like, "It's a pleasure to meet you." And then the Sovereign reveals himself. His name is Charles Henry Charles. Henry Charles, a pleasure to meet you. My name is Detective Chimp. We spoke briefly on the phone, and then he was like, "Oh, I see." And of course, we interlude with more of the Sovereign talking about how she done sent a primate. Thankfully, um, she hasn't attacked or done anything as of lately. While Wonder Woman jumps on a giant kangaroo thing and climbs really high while holding her daughter. Then we cut to Detective Chimp again. We cut to Detective Chimp again, um, talking to Mr. Charles, and Mr. Charles is like, "Detective, this is a private place where my father is buried." And he was like, "Oh, really? I'm so sorry about that, but I came to ask on the other side. Colonel Stephen Trevor's grave is on the other side, and I saw you, so I thought, hey, I might as well come and say hello." And he was like, "Any updates on anything that's going on, detective? Like the weather or whatever?" He was like, "Of course, yes, I have my theories based on everything. But I brought a banana with me, but I have no idea he's being aggravated by the detective." He was like, "Detective, what are you here for?" He was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to figure out, like you said that he had a whole bunch of cash on him, but cash was not found on the body." And he's like, it points to the robbery. Maybe, he returned the car in the garage. Someone took the money and discarded the body, maybe. He was like, "Oh yes, thank you. Maybe that's where the ideal is." And he was like, "I'm just happy to help." And of course, we cut back to Wonder Woman again, climbing the stairs, the highest peak. I guess that's probably like the temple of where Hippolyta is, now that she's kind of like a god now. And then basically he was like, "The truth is a scary young one. If you understand nothing else from our time together, please understand that there is a reason we share this story with you, that we exposed our humiliation at the hand of a nasty woman. You are Trinity. You hold the three lassos of fate. You command our respect despite your heritage and gender. To you I owe my velocracy. But a chimp, one can lie to a chimp." And again, we see more of Henry Charles, riding a horse, and of course, bam, there go Detective Chimp. He was like, "I found a good banana." He was like, "I gotta take advantage of the whole situation." He was like, "Detective, we have a few stressful days due to a financial situation," and he was like, "I don't want to discuss no bananas because you know um, Diana and the Wonder Girls kind of destroyed a lot of the sovereign stuff." And then he was like, "Understood." He was like, "They'll be super quick." But he was like, "I had a follow up." He was like, "I don't care about no bananas." He was like, "I'm just tired of all this buffoonery." And he was like, "Well, we did some searching and we couldn't find the cash from the robbery. He said you also said that Colonel Stephen Trevor didn't withdraw it from his account. None of his friends gave it to him, but you saw it, and I was wondering. He mentioned where he got it from, and he was like, clearly, I provided him the money to purchase a uniform from one of his famous battles months ago, and he came to view my collection, and that's what was purpose. He was like, oh, okay, well, that will explain everything. He was like, now that you mentioned that, I appreciate military history myself, and the sovereign is just over Detective Chimp, which is kind of crazy because just like in order to get somebody to squeal and get all the answers, you send a darn chip. We told the beast that we were busy on the day if he might return later in the week. And then of course we see more. She goes to the fates to carve a woven lifeline because you know in Greek mythology you all everybody has a life rope. And it's blessed on her daughter's forehead. Then of course we see more shots of in DC, and then we see Cersei. Cersei goes to try to find Steve Trevor's uniform, and Detective Chimp was already ready for it. It's like, see now, in my line of business, the detective game that's right, where we call a clue. And then of course Cersei tries to attack Detective Chimp, but that doesn't work because, Spectre was ready for her. Now Wonder Woman stands in front of Hippolyta's statue and she sees her mother. I guess her mother, since her mother is now, I guess, a god now, she can kind of communicate with her. And Detective Chimp shows up at his house again, and Sovereign, he picks up this gun, the same gun that was used to kill Steve Trevor, right? And then the Sovereign was like, "Get your hand off my gun, you dirty ape." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, she claimed you're the secret king of America, and that you and your family been manipulating citizens for 300 years. It isn't that just bananas?" And he was like, "Leave." He was like, "Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overstay my welcome, but I was just wondering about the whole King of America thing." He's like, "These are baseless accusations. You have no proof." And he was like, "Well, I'm so sorry. Well, here you go, Your Majesty. Mr. Charles, you mean? Oh, right, right. I am so sorry. Right, I shouldn't accuse." And then he was like, "If you address me with a comment, you're concerned, a lawyer." He was like, "Oh, what? No, ignore that. That was just a joke. Have a good day." And then he leaves. And then a knock at the door, and he was like, "Oh my God, what do you want now?" And then it was Clark Kent asking questions. Now we jump to Lizzie being shown to her grandmother, and Hippolyta's like, "I'm too young to be a grandmother, but you're not old enough to be a god. Gods come and go, grandmas are forever." That's what she says. And then there's more. Well, I'm so sorry. Then the butler comes in to talk to the sovereign. He was like, "Sir, there's," and then he gets shot for it because Detective Chimp done kind of revealed everything to everybody, and now everything's getting exposed. And Hippolyta asks about the father, and then she was like, "It is but it's a matter of time. There are order to things." And then she was like, "Indeed, Elizabeth Marston Prince, sainted, blessed, named, and loved." And then it says to be continued. Then we get the secret origin of the sovereign, which it has Jimmy Olsen doing some TikTok thing where it has him talking about the sovereign. So he was like, so apparently Clark Wright's man, who apparently I bet humbly calls himself the sovereign, claims to be in fact the secret king of the United States, which is news to me because I didn't even know. And then he was like, basically, according to Mr. Kent and a personal friend of mine, the sovereign claims that his family used a magic lasso to dupe the founding fathers into thinking they were running democratically, when in fact this royal family was running the founding fathers. So the origins of the lies is not that clear, but it seems like it was stolen from one of the native tribes or something like that. Now, Jimmy wants you to subscribe to his channel too. So there's more shots of him, and he's trying to keep the Sovereign's trying to keep everything secret. And he's like, so basically, we found out that he has one of his house in McClendon, Virgin. Clark Kent personally tracked down 50 other mansions registered to this sovereign, one in each state. Although it seems lately the vast fortune has slipped into vast bankruptcies and all these properties have been taken back by various banks and are being resold in case you happen to look for a place down. And then we also he also talked about how they met Cersei. They talked to Cersei about it, and she personally told them about how the sovereign was manipulating the government with the lasso of lies. And now they also discovered that they found the true Queen of America because Clark found the information from Cersei. He managed to track down in the alley of Gotham, Claire. The woman is named Claire, the older sister of the sovereign, and she's supposed to be the true queen of America's throne. She also told him how like their father wasn't pleased with him and was going to make her the queen of America, but he didn't agree with that one and killed her, and then she was afraid that she might get killed. And on top of that, since he's the secret king of America, like who's going to believe anything she has to say? So she left. So now that everything is being revealed, we can't wait to see what next is going to happen. And that's pretty much what Jimmy Olsen did. So now we know that we really wasn't supposed to have a king of America. We were supposed to have a queen of America, and that Henry Charles killed his father because his father didn't agree with the choices that Henry was making, and he was going to give it to his sister Claire, but he didn't agree with that one. So now that's really it. That's that's really it for Wonder Woman. Honestly, it was a okay issue. It wasn't much to go after. It was kind of funny to see Detective Chimp annoy the villain that we supposed to be like rooting. I mean, Wonder Woman's villain, which is kind of crazy. You would think that with all of this happening, you would think that Wonder Woman would finally like smash or whatever, but she decided to be devious, which is kind of interesting, a little different than what I would expected. Like she was able to systematically shut down the sovereign and expose him to America. So hopefully, we're almost over this storyline, honestly, because I'm kind of ready for the storyline to be ended. That's just my personal opinion on the whole situation. But yeah, Wonder Woman, Fury Part 3, Issue 16. Yes, that's right. We're almost at the home stretch. I hope because it feels like it's been a turning, and I'm kind of ready for Tom King to wrap this damn story up because so far it's just nothing but talking and talking, and I'm just kind of ready for some kind of action really that's gonna go on. But hey, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.